Jinwoo wasn't unharmed. The Ant King's attacks were devastating. Yet, even as the human absorbed the punishment, the Ant King's shell, once flawless and impenetrable, began to crack. Tiny fissures spread across his armored body, each one a testament to Jinwoo's growing power. Tiny fractures split across his chitin, sharp and metallic, a sound that cut through the cavern like a warning. The Ant King's exoskeleton, harder than any known metal, had begun to show delicate hairline cracks. In comparison, his opponent, the human, seemed almost unscathed, enduring each of the Ant King's brutal blows without faltering. A horrifying thought crept into the Ant King's mind. Could it be? An impossible idea sent shivers through him. Am I physically weaker than this human? Even though the man was only half the size of the magical beast. Before the Ant King could dwell on the thought, a sudden strike landed, striking his side differently than before. The force was sharp, unmistakable. His armor was giving way. The Ant King glanced down at his exoskeleton. It had split open. A small fissure, delicate yet sinister, spread across his body like a spiderweb. Each fracture screamed a warning. Time was running out. He whirled back toward Jinwoo, trying to refocus on the fight. But Jinwoo wasn't some inexperienced novice who would hesitate while his opponent was distracted. The Ant King's head jerked violently from a punishing blow. His jaw shuddered under the strike, staggering him despite his normally impenetrable facial armor. He barely regained his balance before another strike drove against his chin, forcing his head upward from the sheer force. This inferior creature is... The Ant King could only glare down, mandibles trembling in fury. The human was strong, overwhelmingly strong. But brute force was all he had. The Ant King still had deadly tricks and weapons hidden within his monstrous body, and the moment had come. He snapped his head back into position, moving with terrifying precision. From the tip of a long, writhing tentacle, a venomous needle shot forward with lethal precision, aimed directly at the human's face, a close-range strike nearly impossible to avoid. Jinwoo's instincts kicked in instantly. He jerked his head aside, narrowly evading the deadly needle. But the Ant King's mandibles curled in satisfaction. The needle had grazed Jinwoo's cheek. Got him. For the Ant King, that small injury was enough. He had absorbed a deadly skill from cone snails, a poison called paralysis venom, the most lethal toxin any living creature could produce. By combining it with his magic, the Ant King had created a concentrated, monstrous venom, manufacturing it inside his body through predation. "You've given me a hard time, human," the Ant King growled, mandibles clicking with menace. Even the slightest scratch from his venomous needle could paralyze the nervous system in an instant, leaving any opponent helpless. Once the toxin spread, all he would have to do was crush his enemy completely. Jinwoo's eyes flickered in confusion as the venom began to course through his body. The Ant King lashed out, with a claw aimed straight at Jinwoo's face. Jinwoo raised his left hand just in time, stopping the lethal strike with a resounding clash. Before the Ant King could react, Jinwoo's other fist swung with brutal precision, sending the massive creature tumbling across the den. For the first time, a cry of pain tore from the Ant King, echoing through the cavern. Jinwoo's attention flicked to the familiar electronic chime. Detoxing is complete. Ah, that explained it. No wonder the Ant King had seemed so confused whenever Jinwoo moved unhindered. What Jinwoo found truly fascinating wasn't the detox buff itself, but the ability he'd unknowingly gained to sense the emotions of magic beasts. He thought back to his battle against the High Orcs. He had assumed then that he was reading emotions through their facial expressions and gestures, but the Ant King wasn't humanoid. Expressionless except for rare distortions. The beast's thoughts had been nearly impossible to read. Until now. Is this due to my perception stat? All his stats had increased drastically. Perhaps his perception stat had reached a level that unlocked this new ability. No time to dwell on theories now. His focus had to remain on killing the beast and getting off the island alive. If you enjoyed this story, leave a comment saying Season 3. Your support will inspire me to create the narration for the next season.